Today is May 1st, 2014 on a Thursday. It's 6:36 p.m. Pacific Time. Up next, The True Purpose of Chemtrails. And this is dated April 30, 2014 by Zen Gardener. Ever wonder what the real purpose of chemtrails are, folks? I know some of you out there have your own ideas. Well, it's definitely poisoning the population. That's one of the purposes, I would say, but there are other reasons. And let's discover them right now in this article. This is an archived article with some very compelling information, which may also help explain some of the strange maladies many are experiencing. This was posted by Zen Gardener, who is a reporter. The article is by Carolyn Williams-Pollitt of Rense.com. And I'm going to read this for the folks with vision loss and cell phone users. So if you don't want to sit through the whole entire broadcast, please use the link at the bottom of the video. And this does not necessarily reflect my own personal opinion. We are dealing with Star Wars. It involves the combination of chemtrails for creating an atmosphere that will support electromagnetic waves, ground-based electromagnetic field oscillators called gyrotrons and ionospheric heaters. Particulates make directed energy weapons work better. It has to do with steady state and particle density for plasma beam propagation. They spray barium powders and let it photoionize from the ultraviolet light of the sun. Then they make an aluminum plasma generated by zapping the metal cations that are in the spray with either electromagnetics from HARP, the gyrotron system on the ground, which is ground wave emergency network, or space-based lasers. The barium makes the aluminum plasma more particulate dense. This means that they can make a denser plasma than they normally could from just ionizing the atmosphere or the air. More density, more particles means that these particles, which are colliding into each other, will become more charged because there are more of them present to collide. What are they ultimately trying to do up there is create charged particle plasma beam weapons. Chemtrails are the medium, Gwen pulse radars, the various HARPs, and space-based lasers are the method. Or more simply, chemtrails are the medium, directed energy is the method. Spray and zap. This system appears to be in Russia, Canada, the United States, and all of Europe. Exotic weapons can be mobile, stationary, land-based, aerial, or satellite. It is an offensive and defensive system against EM attacks and missiles. It uses ionospheric particle shells as defense mechanisms, like a bug zapper shell, against missiles and EM attacks. That means they spray and then they pump up the spray with electromagnetics. When these shells are created using the oscillating electromagnetic gyrotron stations, it excludes and displaces the background magnetic field. These shells can be layered one above another in a canopy fashion for extra protection from missiles. The chemtrail sprays have various elements in them like carbon, which can be used to absorb microwaves. Some of these sprays have metal flakes in them that make aerial craft invisible to radar. Spoofer sprays. Sprays like these can be used to create colorful, magnetized plasmas to cloak fighter jets. There are satellite weapons involved. Activists are using meters and are getting readings of microwaves, X-rays, and some other kind of emission that they are not sure of. Maybe a low-intensity laser. They are also photographing gas plasma generation due to the heating of chemtrails by electromagnetics. The technical names for vertical and horizontal plasma columns are columnar focal lenses and horizontal drift plasma antennas. Various sizes of gas plasma orbs are associated with this technology. These orbs can be used as transmitters and receivers because they have great refractory and optical properties. They are also capable of transmitting digital or analog sound. Barium, in fact, is very refractive, more refractive than glass. So what does that mean? Someone or someones are very involved in unconstitutional domestic spying, and the entrained plasma orbs carried on electromagnetic beams can be used for mind control programming. The satellites can be programmed to track and monitor various frequencies on different parts of your body. These electromagnetic beams carrying the gas plasma orbs stick, do magnetic polarity and frequency mapping and tracking to people's eyes, ears, temples, and even your private parts. Believe that. A beam with entrained orbs carries pictures in each orb just like the different frames in a movie. It is a particle beam that is also a frequency weapon. The satellites download holographic mind control movies, pictures, sounds, and sensations to people through this technology. The Air Force has stated in Air Force 2025 that their goal is to develop virtual and augmented reality mind control. Depending on how the computer is programmed or depending on the mood or intent of the person interfacing with the technology, you can be probed, bothered, gaslighted, frightened, manipulated, electronically raped, or tortured. It scans your brain frequencies and deciphers your thoughts. The satellites track you by mapping your bioenergetic signature, your body biometrics, and constantly scanning an area to find you. We are the lab rats for this technology, and something is very wrong in the military or intelligence branches somewhere, because developmental projects in government and military are often so compartmentalized. I suppose someone could be using and developing this technology secretly and without authorization. Then again, behavioral and mind control programs were an authorized policy under MK Ultra. Our country has a history of experimenting on its citizens. Isn't that the truth? We are talking about satellite charged particle frequency weapons attacking a person 24 hours a day. Psychotronic weapons are considered weapons of mass destruction by the UN. HARPs can create earthquakes and can also X-ray the earth to find underground military bases, even gold or oil reserves. These ionospheric heaters can also operate as an over-the-horizon or under-the-ocean communication systems. This system can control the weather or create disasters. Taken together with the Aurora keyhole through your roof satellite surveillance system, Echelon electronic computer, phone sweeps, plasma cloak, DoD, drug war, helicopters and stealths, implants and cameras on the street. It constitutes one big global and space control grid. These weapons involve beams. Two beams overlapped will couple into a particle ion beam that will bounce off of a remote target and send a holographic image back to the satellite for remote spying operations. When you cross two strong beams, you can supposedly create scalar energies. These energies can be used as untraceable weapons for nuclear-sized explosions or for defense. These crossed energies can be used to cause a person's physical electrical system to fail, or with a lower frequency, administer a kind of remote electroshock. Visualize touching a positive and negative electric cable to each other on top of your head. Scalar energies can be utilized in handheld military guns and on tanks. They can dud out electronics or cause large electrical blackouts. Scalar energies are practically impossible to shield against. You need lead, ceramics, and a deep underground facility to not be affected by these weapons, or you need to be up and above the field of battle. People who are working on these issues hear tones and hums. Remember the humming noise, folks, that I talked about? And harp? If you hear persistent tones and static, have body vibrations, burning sensations, bangs to the head, neurological damage, or immune system damage are hearing electronic voices or hearing the sound of a plasma, suffering from pains deep in your organs or constant headaches, or experiencing other anomalous activity, then you may be being targeted by directed energy mind control weapons. These weapons could be on helicopters, jets, stealth fighters, or on satellites. Directed energy beams and electromagnetic waves can be sent to you via handheld devices or piggybacked in on cell phone and satellite towers. It is possible that someone or someones are very afraid of coming famines and riots due to the ongoing man-induced failure of the ecological system, and they are saturating the earth with chemtrails for large-scale gas plasma mind control with a question mark. Is this the last grasp for the world's resources? Or are they just control freaks and money mongers? Someone would like to get to that oil under the melting due to chemtrail trapped EM heat Arctic, and I guess the third world is not part of this system. I don't think that the developed nations are going to let them in on this either. Any country that joins this NATO system will become mind-controlled and diseased due to the associated intense oscillating electromagnetic fields, electromagnetic soup, and the poisonous toxic chemtrails. Our DNA will break. We risk the Earth's spin until it becoming messed up due to mucking around with the magnetic fields through this military technology. And maybe it is already messed up. It constitutes U.S. global domination via NATO and the erosion of civil rights. According to Charlotte Iserby and Al Martin, there are ex-KGB and ex-Stasi advising our new Office of Total Information Awareness. They are the ones creating our new internal passports, the national ID, and under the Treaty on Open Skies, we have overflights by Russian and German military. Who exactly is flying those plasma cloaked craft that are seen all over this country and mistaken for UFOs by people who do not know about this aerial deception technology? Obviously, we have another Project Paperclip in the making. We can add the new thugs to the 2,000 Iraqi brought into country by Daddy Bush, who are now living in Nebraska. The elitist corporate government is going to hold the rest of us hostage with directed energy weapons in space if the policy for a new American Century Group, PNAC, Bush, and crony think tank has their way, along with directed energy attacks against any country or citizen that they decide they do not like. These weapons can create climate war, weather war, mind war, cyber war, disease war, disaster war, and undetectable war. Taken together, they can create economic war. And folks, I'm going to have to stop right there. I'm out of time. If you'd like to read more on this article, it's a pretty long article. I'm going to put a link at the bottom of the video for you. That's going to do it for now. Please look up to the skies and let everybody know. Thanks for watching, and please stay safe. Pink out.